All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Chihayafuru, Season 2, Episode 6. Hokuo just took the first win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By 13 cards.
And it's not looking good. Kana
Nope.
is killing it.
Good
she
job.
is in the zone right now.
You've got this.
She is
flow
in the
state.
Yeah, the complete and total flow state.
Embrace eternity, the poetry from, to you 2,000 years in the future.
Right.
Like, yeah, she's got this.
It's easy. Now, while that's one win kind of then for each,
Yep.
she's actually not that far ahead. So every match on Mizusawa's team is very, very important right now.
Yeah, but you're going to nationals regardless.
Yeah.
So,
True.
while you want to show Hokuo Academy that you are the better Karate team, just focus on improvement. You don't actually need to win. Just get better as each as individuals and collectively as a team.
Yeah, you're all playing against players of equal or greater skill here. And so this is great practice opportunity.
Yep.
And in some ways, you can take this match a little bit in a lighter way.
Sure.
A lot of ways like Asakusa was saying.
Yep. So Taichi, don't worry about this.
Yeah.
You're going to beat Retro. You will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Boom. The momentum shifts.
That's right. Just makes me think of Captain America trying to keep the helicopter from flying off, or Thor opening the lens, just
holding two things together.
Yeah.
I see. I was like, why is this a feat of strength?
Yeah. They're playing karate. The cards aren't heavy.
Not that literally, but more just like, why is this a feat of physical strength? Like.
まだ一申しが読まれてないはず。火の一時決まりになってない。なのに狙ってた札だから。
It's a fluke. It must be.
Yep.
そんなわけない。
Yep, just
Lock in.
move on.
できる人間、山がたまたま当たっただけだ。
一か八かで取ってるんじゃない。聞こえてる。聞こえているんだ。自分の声の何で判断されてるのかわからない。
Oh. Yeah, that's also good practice for him, because he's like, wait a minute, someone heard something off of this? I'm the reader, I'm not messing anything up. What's going on? Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. And he's even
from both
oriented to be
sides.
specifically right in the middle because they're in the 3 position.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
So he's looking directly at Chihaya.
動きや反応が早い選手は他にもいる。そういうのとは違うような。
Yeah.
Yep, she's just starting too early. Yeah. Hisashi.
ちょっと待って。
Wait.
おい。
あれから9ヶ月。早く取るのをやめなさい。
Precision.
千早ちゃん。君は着実に前へと進んでる。武器を増やそうとしてる。
自分には一時決まりは28枚だと。
綾瀬にも20枚あるみたい。一時決まりが。
Just knowing that
It's
ridiculous.
insane. Yeah.
いいんだ。説明できない。音になる前の音聞こ
The
える。
breath.
言っていいんだ。私も。あ、お手つき。
Oh shit! You rushed!
やばい。こんな終盤でのお手つき。
店から手が出てるでも鼻毛が出てるでも何でもいいから言え。特殊にならなければわからない気持ち。邪魔をしたくない。
Let
Yep.
fate
Just
decide
helpless
what
autumn
will.
leaves.
Yep.
ここまでの集中を。
5枚もあった差が一気になくなった。
They're caught up.
Wow.
なんでこんなきつい試合に勝手なことするから。
Hey, can't be thinking about that.
He's doing the same thing.
勝ててないじゃん、ヒョロだって。東京で一番強いのは北欧学園。
So you're the ace.
レギュラーは無理だって言われたのに。
sure.
部のみんなが
Yeah.
最後の夏に首相にしてくれた。
Oh.
世の中よ道こそなけれ
自陣の世の中和を守った後、敵陣に攻めに行った。
Yeah, it's just a tough. It was on his side. That's
Yep.
just a tough one there.
一枚差でいい。きっちり最後に勝つ。
You could lose because of that fault.
タクマやカメダはまだ勝てないのか。
なんで話せない。なんでだよ。まず俺が早く終わらせないと。タクマくん。
He's rushing.
去
Yeah.
年僕が15枚差で負けた右下段ばっかりに札固めて。
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's our guard.
今のはちぎりきがまだ読まれてないから。
変わったのは僕が先です。こう回ってこっちの隙間から。
左手に抜かれやすい。狙ってたのかこいつ。
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
タクマくんの方がカルタ歴は。
But you have to use the same hand every time.
でも去年
Not necessarily. You.
この1年
I think it's just that you can only use one.
絶対僕の方だ。
No, I think you declare a hand. Because that was the whole thing with Tsukuba.
No, but he used one to block and one to strike.
I got you. Okay. Dang.
Okay.
4試合とも残りは3枚。もしかすると。
Oh, a simultaneous victory.
4人が運命戦になったら負ける。ありえねえ。
たのは綾瀬先輩と真島先輩。
What?
それに駒野先輩。
見たことねえ。4組同時の運命戦。
Because they each have one card on each side.
Yeah.
朝棒を左に移動します。
Yeah.
左利き対策。
Yeah, right. He is left-handed.
Oh, okay,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
あ、すみません。やっぱり戻します。
違う、そうじゃない。頼む。周りをよく見ろ。札じゃなくて、かなちゃんが札を送られるまで待て。今送っちゃダメだ。
Oh, yeah.
送ります。
Because they need 2 of their matches to win, so they're coordinating as a team
やられた。
what cards they have.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Dang.
I like it. Because they could theoretically just need now like 1 or 2, cards to be won.
Uh-huh.
Versus,
知人の札を
yeah,
守るのが
Mizusawa might need like 3 or 4.
出た方が勝つ。確率は五分五分。この試合は
They each did 2.
団体戦終盤における作戦の一つ。
But it should only really happen in this instance there.
3勝すればチームの勝ちになる。
Right, so,
つまり、
yeah.
すでに1勝しているチームは運命戦では2勝できれ
So
ば
they
勝ちに。
each of them put 2 of the remaining cards on each side, yeah.
自分たちの持ち物を2枚と2枚に分ける。道のくのが読まれた後、さりげなくチームメイトに教えて。
朝棒を左に移動します。
Nice.
左に移動します。あ、すみません。
千早ちゃんがどの札を送ったのかを確認した上で。
Nice.
朝ぼ送ります。
送り札で調整する。
Okay.
北欧の札分けの完成だ。
Oh, stressful.
北欧は自陣を守り抜ければ必ず勝てる。
僕、田代君に審判頼んでこないと。
少なくとも3枚と1枚にすべきだ。50% の確率で勝てたかもしれないのに。
Yeah.
敵陣を抜かなければ勝てない。
Right.
And someone's gonna have to do it.
うちの勝率はゼロに近いぞ。
So is it going to be Chihaya?
準備不足だ。
Taichi.
こんな状況になる
No!
と想定してなかった。
No! Ah!
あれ
Oh. She just noticed.
うちが参照しにくい不利な形。
Yes.
Yep. Oh. Yeah.
強くしてやるからなんて1年生に選べたくせに
It's
情けね
okay. It's
え。
okay.
みんな頑張ってんのに俺のせいで。
What?
敵陣への素振り。
綾瀬、
Yeah.
まさか敵陣抜くつもりか。
All out attack. Everyone attack the opponent's side.
真島先輩。
秋野の他にまだ読まれていないカラ札はちぎりき。
Oh.
言う。
Right. Get them to rush and they might make a mistake and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to swap. Yeah. So it's still more likely that a dead card will be red.
千早が抜く。俺 俺が敵陣抜いてやる
They're talking with their hands.
Yeah, because they need to both be synced up. They need to cover each possibility.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. The nonverbal communication.
水沢の方は攻める気満々だけど
水沢と違って北欧は自陣に集中して守り抜けばいい硬い守りを崩すのは実質不可能
抜いてやる
Proper feint. Yeah, and that's a fault.
お手つき
Got him.
水沢一緒
Yeah!
Wow. Let's go. Let's go. And he yelled out because his was the first.
Yep.
Yeah.
諦めない攻めがヒョロ君を焦らせたんだ運命戦は運命じゃない運命じゃない
All right.
これで五分の
Yep. It's no longer a sure thing.
Yep.
ヒョロットカードで嘘ついただけじゃなくてせっかくの札分け無駄にし
Yeah.
やがって
Yeah. He
負
did.
けたらどうすんだぶん殴るじゃあそんな必死に勝ちに行かなくてもいいじゃんぶん殴る
Yeah, it was your words that kind of said that, though. You know, like
北欧の首相まで敵陣への素振りを
攻める気だ勝ちに行かなくていい試合なんかあるか北欧なんだ
I love it. You're taking it seriously, though.
Yeah.
こんな場面で空っぽになれる人間がいる
Oh,
どっちが取ったの
わからない
僕が早かったいえ僕の方が早く触れていえ審判いえ今のはセイムです
セイムなら自陣の砦アマカス君の勝利です
Wow.
ありがとうございました
Wow.
all right.
北欧学園3勝水沢高校2勝でありがとうございました
Hey, what exactly was we predicted? Yeah.
東京で一番強いのは北欧か
あれは綾瀬の勢いにつられて手が出ただけで朝地だったらお手つきだ聞けてなかったこんな試合じゃ北欧が一番とは言えません
だっせ東京で一番になれないならせめて全国で一番になれよ
Yeah.
須藤さん
Oh, Pseudo.
北欧の部費で見に行くから
On your budget.
Damn.
Yes. Yes.
俺が不甲斐ないばっかりに先に負けたばっかりに
No.
楽しかったね
Oh.
今までで一番楽しかったね
We've had.
Yeah.
Chihaya speaks for all of them.
Right. She's like, no. Definitively, that was objectively the most fun game we've played.
Right, right.
あれ筑波はなんか弟くんたちと行くところがある
明日から全国大会に向けて練習だからね
ちはや
Mhm.
一日ぐらい休ませろ
The way he says Chihaya. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like-
花野さん同じ方向じゃないの
すみません
yeah.
白波会に入る
Hey.
4人とも
はいよろしくお願いし
Oh.
何ですか
What's that?
ますか俺名人になるもんね
I get 3
Yeah.
new little young hopefuls to train.
Nope. 5.
また
Yeah.
All right.
5人目かい
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go. 2 days then. Not tomorrow.
Yep.
The day after that.
Right. These two.
あ新たからメールだ
Ah.
新た今までで一番楽しかった一番悔しかった
Awesome.
All right. Good stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
She's growing and changing. Damn. Yeah, a
Good
good,
job,
loss.
Taichi.
A good loss can be so much fun.
Yeah.
Because there's such a release of like, okay, I don't have any more to give.
Right.
Rather than in some ways the like, Yosha, you know,
Yeah.
like the celebration energy.
Right. It's
there's like
it's
a-
putting the thing down basically, and
Yeah,
being like,
there's a gasp of relief in
Right.
some ways. But I guess in that respect, you could also say they're so similar that it's the same kind of fun either way. You know?
One might even say that it's almost like when you like someone and you know that they don't like you, and then you end up telling them and they shoot you down. But that won't have. I don't know why I brought that up.
No, I don't know. Yeah,
To
it's
this show.
really hard to
Yeah.
see how that applies. But you know, yeah. All
Good
right,
stuff.
good stuff.
Good job.
Chihaya came back to lose by 1, and it was basically luck of the draw.
Yep.
Because it was on her opponent's side. He did move instinctively, though, so he had no way to know whether or not he was just trying to keep Chihaya from winning or if he was committing a fault.
Yep.
But that's a fun way to show that Chihaya has grown, not just as a player, but then the way that she responds to losing the match shows that she's changed and grown as a person.
Right.
And that's incredible because obviously she's grown and changed since she was a small wee child back then.
Of course, yeah.
But this is also just a very different person than the one that's like, no, I don't want to lose. Like, I don't want to ever be.
And losing can still suck, right? That can still be really painful and all that. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a great time, right? That doesn't mean that it was a waste.
Like your match against Shinobu.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like you got crushed, and that was probably one of the most important matches of Karate you've ever played, right? Like that changed your Karate life.
Right, and in some ways, it's probably impossible to have had the perspective that was a very fun match because
sure, when you get your ass clapped, it's
not that fun.
It's rough.
It's
eye-opening,
rough.
but it's rough.
Yeah, I would say that it's very possible to find zero fun in it because when you get beaten that badly, your brain can like throw all kinds of buts and excuses and things into that, which is kind of what Nishida was starting to do when he lost by 13. But in the end, he basically was like, no, I screwed up. I'm not going to take excuses. I'm not going to make excuses or anything like that here. This is just, I let this get into my, thing here, and I messed up. So,
and that's kind of what Amaksu was doing in his match too when Chihaya started to come back, right? Where it's it's because Retro messed up the cards and the all these other things, and it's like, well, that might not entirely be wrong.
She
right?
could also just be better than you.
Yeah. Or rather, right, that's your way of deflecting off of the fact that she's better than you. You could have still theoretically won the game, if you didn't have to face her or whatever because she's better than you. But, it's ignoring the elephant in the room, right?
Right. And it's important to compete. It's important to put, every every bit of yourself forward so that you can win here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you're going to go back and go, well, the reason why this was so close, or the reason why we lost, or the reason why we didn't, handily beat them was because of blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
It's more likely that you're right on some small level, but it's irrelevant in that you're missing the point of why you're doing these matches. You're doing these matches to win, yes, but you're already winning by getting to this point here. At this point, this match is a shoe-in for, hey, get better at the sport here. Get your reps in.
Yep.
In that respect, it's just as important as a practice match against then Chihaya would be,
Even if it might seem silly that, the players on this other team are practicing swings and stuff, and wait, what? We're in between cards. You shouldn't be focusing on that. You should be focusing on trying to get the next one, but hey, well, sometimes that can actually yield results in very unexpected ways that shouldn't normally happen, right?
Right.
Taichi, you did a good job. You actually got Retro to make a fault, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
At that point in the match, too.
Where the game is clinched, right? They've got it. It's an easy shoe-in win. And you made that unsure, right?
That was some leadership right there. The idea that Taichi was able to do that, mostly because it's Retro, but two, also because Taichi doesn't usually do this. So it really rattled Retro properly to be wait, whoa.
Yeah,
you can't take this card. Why are you even
and
doing
it's
that? You have to just hope it's not, it's not going to land this way.
Yep. And that's,
but we've already mathematically set it up. It's over.
Right. And yet it's Not necessarily, because one of you guys could totally make a mistake. And if I'm putting enough pressure on you that you're like, oh shit, I do actually have to take this card because he is going to be coming at it real quick. Well, then maybe you take it even if it's not the one that you needed.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a very satisfying way to get at Chihaya's whole accuracy thing that she's been being taught, but in a different match, right? To show that it's not just something that Chihaya needs to learn, but that everyone needs to learn.
Yep.
It's how physical movement works. It's how this sport works, right? Like you need to be able to have your body do what you need it to do and to not mess up, right? Like to not get so caught up in the needing to get there as soon as possible that that you forget to actually listen.
It's incredible how much muscle memory plays a part in sports like this. You would need to be training yourself over and over and over and over and over again for years to basically set yourself up to never make a mistake like this. But the idea is that you could get mistakes. No. I was gonna say you could get to that point where you become so good that you don't make mistakes, where your muscle memory fails you.
Well, and that's why being relaxed is so important, right? Like as crazy as the Masters whole thing is of having the 28 one-syllable cards and all that stuff, right? The whole thing that Shinobu does of just being like, nope, and just straight towards it, and boop, I hit it exactly where I want it to, right? And does not commit faults, right? Like it's just nope. Exactly where I need it to be. It's precise. Not even any excess effort, right? You don't even hear me hitting the card. It's just suddenly the card flies away, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's trainable.
That's exactly.
Attainable.
That is freakishly crazy to behold and can absolutely be the stuff of nightmares, where then you're like, oh my God, what happened?
Right.
Reliving that shit in your dreams. But that's possible.
That's possible.
So, keep focusing on that, right?
Yeah, the player that doesn't make mistakes is not necessarily the strongest player, but incorporating I'm going to take a step back in the way that Chihaya has over the last little bit to focus more on accuracy, not making mistakes. And then once she's warmed up her muscle memory in the game, because Chihaya still has not gotten the inside of game, out of game mental side of things nailed in, she kind of needs to actually treat every match like a practice match to warm herself up to then be like, okay, I can then start moving with speed faster and faster, earlier and earlier in the game overall.
Right, because I have more confidence, basically.
Yeah. And that's a fun bit of meta progression for our protagonist to then be working towards, where she's like, yep, okay, it's been 10 cards. I can go now. Or, oh, now it's been 8 cards. I can go now.
Or, ooh, there's been 8 dead cards read. All right, cool.
Let's go.
Yep. Yeah. Oh. And eventually it's going to get to that point where you just do that from the very beginning.
Yep, right out the gate.
Yep. And that is going to be absolutely terrifying.
That is going to be when she becomes Shinobu's equal. Honestly. And that's going to be really fun because...
Oh, yeah. That's gonna, that match is going to be awesome.
Because in a lot of ways, she's way faster than Shinobu. Shinobu is...
Oh, yeah. There will come a point where Shinobu then realizes she actually has to study Chihaya a bit.
Or she has to just move her body faster.
Right.
That's the part where Chihaya could then become, up to Hisashi's level, is that she's starting at a decent starting point.
Yeah.
But then she's also moving with good speed.
Right.
And Shinobu's obviously fast. I'm not saying she's not. I'm saying that Shinobu has well-rounded stats to great stats in everything. Whereas Hisashi, we've never seen him actually get pushed hard enough to where we know actually that he has
the triple S plus,
he has the hearing stat maxed to god levels where it doesn't really matter.
He doesn't need the other ones as much.
Yeah. He right. We don't know necessarily what those stats are.
He still absolutely studies the cards and things like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's he works on the hearing first and foremost. Yeah.
Right. He might be somebody who's not like a one-trick pony, but he might be someone who's so specialized
that
in some ways he wouldn't understand the style of Shinobu play. He'd be like,
Right.
why are you worrying about this when I'm literally just in a league ahead of you?
Yeah, the way I kind of see it is he has such a fundamental and understanding of the game of karate that's beyond what the meta is of the sport currently, that he's not going to practice like other people practice.
Yeah, because also if you got this good at this specific part, you wouldn't want to train people like that.
Oh, sure.
Because you would lose your edge.
Yeah, and that's where the fact that he even said that for me there are 28 one-syllable cards, until the show says otherwise, I'm going to treat that as basically his own hubris of being at the top and so dominant that he's like, yeah, I'll even tell people that I have a trick like that, even if I don't tell them how I have that trick.
I would pull back and say that it's not necessarily hubris or hubris.
Yeah,
hubris.
Hubris.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not hubris necessarily because he probably literally has that exact number of cards.
Oh no, totally. Yeah.
Because what he could have done was a non-exact, arbitrary thing of like, I have far more one-syllable cards than any Karate player.
Oh, you think
in
there's
the
only
planet.
that many one-syllable cards, like 7 or whatever? No, there's way more than that.
Because when you look at people like Magnus Carlsen, for instance, he'll just be like, "There's no one in this world that's better than me." Like he'll just straight up be like, you know, who in this world could beat you? And he'd be like, on a good day, you know, where everyone's coming, nobody can beat me. And that's not hubris. That's just literal.
No, right? Yeah, that's what you get to say when you're the best in the world.
That's why headlines freak out. They're like, "Someone beat Magnus Carlsen," and they're like, "Yeah, but did they win the tournament? Did they win the 4 out of 7?" It's like, well, no, and it's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they won a game.
they beat him with this clever move thing, and it's like, yeah, good job. You beat a god.
Right. I'll log that away. You know. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's I'm so excited for the late of the story. You know, matches.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be
the
awesome.
larger story is going to get more exciting at nationals because there's going to be people like Arata. There's going to be others that will be involved in that side of the story where we'll get to see them interacting, and the story will extend to not just the getting better at karate part, even though that is a very fun part of the story, but getting to have all these people learn from each other outside of the game, and I'm very excited about that because Taichi,
you did good.
You did really good, and you see her emotion here of getting to have this coming full circle moment with Arata's text, like, did you have fun?
Yeah.
And now she gets why he was like, I'm confused, like, but you had fun, right? Like, when they were kids.
Yeah, what's the deal here?
Yeah, why would you get so upset? Like, I get you lost, but...
Right. And
Isn't karate so much fun?
The story that you don't see, right, anytime you have someone at the top of their field, you know, or in the top of a competitive thing or whatever, right, is that they have lost more than you by far. Like, by probably at least an order of magnitude, right?
At some point, they had to get their ass handed to them 1,000 times by someone that was better than them so that they would learn.
Right.
And so now Chihaya has come to that point where she's accepted I learned something here, obviously in my loss, but also I now realize how many wins and losses and matches and lessons it took for me to get to this point here, where
and there's
losing
gonna be more.
a trophy basically by
by a single card.
By a single card, which could be in a lot of ways one of the most depressing things ever.
Oh yeah. If you had started using your speed one card earlier, maybe. Who knows? You know, maybe you would have made a fault, and then, you know.
Who's to say?
Right.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff that you would have earlier, Chihaya, gone to bed, like, thinking and crying about.
Right.
Now you just cry with joy, being like, I get to play this sport, and it's so fun. It's the best.
Yep. Or, on the flip side, maybe Amakasu is going to be thinking afterwards of, if I didn't make that fault, maybe I would have been able to win on my own. I wouldn't have had to go off of Chihaya's hearing. Right. She would have gotten that card, and okay, that would have been fine. And then, you know, I would have gotten the next one.
We were the best in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But the match kept going, and I got to have my worldview shattered.
Exactly.
So go into nationals with a little bit of extra spunk, because if you guys...
Yeah.
If y'all bump into each other again.
Yeah, you got to do some scrims in the meantime. Like, okay, all right, we properly slugged it out. You have earned our respect and such, and now we'll do some practice matches against each other in the meantime.
It'd be interesting to see, given that there's difference in societies and all that, but like, what kind of teams scrim against each other?
Sure.
Or if they make sure we're only from the same societies, and then we do
right,
that
right.
because we don't want to share secrets and tips and tricks and things.
Right. Well, at the same time, you're in Tokyo. Tokyo sends 2 teams, so
why not?
you're not really jeopardizing your spot. You know.
No, not
And
at
then
all.
it's just hey, we're both wanting to clap at nationals, so let's sharpen each other.
Let's sharpen, yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See, I think if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.